If you're realizing that commitment is actually just a one-way ticket to burnout, you're not alone. A lot of founders hit this stage. It's where the business can only grow as fast as they can work. Sound familiar? It doesn't have to be this way. I'm here to tell you. We put together a short, takes less than 5 minutes scorecard to kind of see where you're at on the, based on the questions I mentioned today. You'll get your score, quick custom action plan for you to take some steps to break through to the next level. Go to colonyspark.com. The link's below. So there's three specific bottlenecks I typically see in founder-led B2B companies. And I'm going to go walk you through it a little bit and give you a quick fix to kind of move and level up. So the first bottleneck is that founder dependent close. This is the big one. Deals only close when you're in the room. And this is for a variety of reasons. It could be you've spent 10 years building that pattern recognition that it just doesn't easily transfer. And you know how to read the room, when to push, when to back off, when objections are real and, when the objection is just a bunch of BS. But your sales team, they just don't have that yet. So you're probably person that you want to kind of keep control there. Why potentially lose this deal when if you're just in that room again, you can close it, and your sales team never learns. And, they may have like an SOP that they're trying to learn from just reading through, and you're trying to teach a sales process through kind of these static documents. And the quick fix here, just start recording your sales calls. You can do it in Google Meets. You can do it in Teams. You can do it with Fathom, Zoom. Record every sales call you have for 30 days. And I'm not talking about to record this for sales training where your team needs to watch you talk to someone. I'm talking about let's get some pattern analysis going. So let's look for some moments where deals turn. What question did you ask? What objection did you reframe, or what story did you start telling that really turned the course of that call, or really kind of brought that to a yes? These are the moments that are going to become your playbook, and you can start building out a decision tree that your team can work with. They can start gaming out. And this isn't some kind of just boring script you read from. It really helps you kind of understand the ways the conversation go, the different responses, the different types of people you're talking to. And this is how they can work together to start working through those decision trees and start practicing on themselves. Number two is this referral dependency trap. And if you're like most of the companies that we speak to, your referral, most of the deals, I would say 70 to 85% of your deals come from referrals. And really, this sounds great. Referrals are amazing. But until you realize that these referrals are just coming to you, they're not coming to your company. So when someone refers you a new client, they typically aren't saying like, go call Acme Co. They're saying like, go call Joe. That's my guy. So this really isn't your business. This is, basically a personal brand with overhead. And, when someone refers a client to you now, I think, what you should be doing, and this is the fix, you just need to create a referral handoff system. So someone refers a client to you, you immediately introduce them to the team member who's going to handle that implementation. So now you're positioning yourself as a strategic advisor. Your team is those execution experts. And this over time is going to start, you're going to start getting referrals, and the referrals are going to be asking for the team, not just you. And the third bottleneck I have here on the screen is this 130-day sales cycle. And, our clients, especially in a lot of industries today in B2B, the sales cycle is long because complex B2B deals, they require trust. And we're talking like 130 days, 150, 200, a year. And that's trust takes time to build. And, if you're just waiting for a an opportunity to fall on your doorstep through some kind of like Google ad, or maybe through a cold email or some other lead gen, like you're really just starting to build trust from scratch with every single prospect. And what are your competitors doing? This is the fix you need to implement today. Is you need to start building trust before that sales conversation starts. And it starts with content. You need to create content that demonstrates your expertise in public, demonstrates that you understand the transformation happening in your ICP's world, and how you're positioned to help them activate and be a leader in their industry, or however, whatever they're trying to accomplish. When a prospect, comes from inbound, they've probably spent about 20 hours consuming content. And it could be your content, or it could be your competitor's content. They're on Reddit, they're on LinkedIn, or, use Spark Toro to find where your audience is spending time, and create the content that they need to see to build trust. And then now you're not starting from zero when they fill out that form or reach out to you on email. This isn't like a way to shrink your sales cycle. The B2B sales cycle is always going to be long and drawn out, but your capacity now increases because you're building trust at scale, not in that rat race at the end. Typically, if they come in from a Google ad, they've done their research. Now you're just like an afterthought. You're kind of trying to catch up with the people or the companies that they've started learning about. Maybe they're just trying to do a double check, or trying to check the box to make sure they've went to 5 companies. So put yourself in, build that trust over time, and put together content and thought leadership on the channels that your audience spends time. And, the pattern here is not really that you're not like really trying to like remove yourself from business. You're trying to replicate what you do, so the business can grow beyond your personal capacity. Now, seeing the bottlenecks is clarity, but it's just the beginning. What's is specifically holding you back? And most founders miss those predictable traps that keep their $2 million company from breaking through. So before you watch the next video, I want you to go to colonyspark.com, fill out the form, go to the scorecard, get your action plan. The link's in the description. I'm going to show you exactly how to remove those barriers before they cap your growth. Click it now.